Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's Reporters for the 24th. Well, that magenta move, very strong, was enough to get above the 23%. And like I said, above that, long until otherwise from the readings. Beautiful with the reset of DOC at, pretty negative. I mean, we got to what, a minus 21, which minus 23 is like a guaranteed turnaround. And we expected that there would be some kind of push up. And as long as the steel continues to rise, now above negative 13, positive 13, which is effectively coming up from underneath, everything's supporting continuation at this particular stage. Of course, with red leading, a fade of magenta at any point here would be problematic. And I would expect that we're going to push towards the 50% at a minimum. That would be a normal move. From an NQ standpoint, looking pretty much identical. So getting much more of an alignment now from a reading standpoint. That was a big surge, and it was destined to force some short cover within that. That's why I pointed out that it doesn't always go in one direction completely, unless there's some catastrophic news that suggests that. And one could argue there's plenty of it, but overall things are relatively stable from a reading. European numbers came through for their economy was doing slightly better than positive, so from that standpoint, sustainable. It's a problem for central banks, though, because EU wanted to cut rates, but how they're going to do that with continued inflation rising and now positive growth doesn't really make a whole lot of sense either. But it makes for a challenging environment going forward from a treasury standpoint, kind of holding in this zone right now, and it's still not enough to spur a move towards treasuries yet. So that still forces money into the market. No other way around it. This becomes the problematic one. Nice rebound from oil. If it shoots back up towards those previous highs, there's nowhere for the euro to go in that sense. And also, just going to continue to hammer the Fed's ability to change and go to ease mode, even though that's their intention and their promise for the election. But now it's getting a little late. Getting a little late for that to have any impact whatsoever from a euro standpoint. You see, got up to 23%, but with oil rising, that's probably going to be short-lived. So it is what it is. From a gold standpoint, still remaining flat within that range here. It had to fill back some of that significant move. I don't expect it's going to fade all that much simply because there's no justification for a continued fade at all. Also Bitcoin with the halving situation, and that's I only see positive things from a crypto side. So that's I know odd thing to say, but the more you see the degradation from regular advanced currencies, it becomes an alternative play. And again, I'm not saying it's alternative currency; it's just an opportunity to park money elsewhere outside of fiat currencies. And from that standpoint, there's an edge there from a ETH standpoint, lagging Bitcoin, I think, just a little bit, and it's kind of showing that Bitcoin's still the king when it comes to crypto from that standpoint. From the 50K standpoint, you can see we dipped cyan under red, always buy, and that was pretty clean. Once it got right above that 76%, you saw the magenta pop above. That's all pretty clean, straightforward, and continued rise of gold. That's a pretty huge move from MBI Gold. So we also started with the last bit of positive extremes here at the end of this move. Might see those fill back. If they fill back, that would actually be healthier than continuing to run from here. Post market here, you can see continued rise from the European session, but it's filling back some of that at this particular stage. If we go back to the action from the day, it was pretty blah because from minute pre-market open straight up and never really deviated from that. So all pretty benign stuff at this particular stage. It was a strong bull recovery from the solid decline, and you can see that the lockout period for buybacks and that's about to end. So it's sort of like a front running of the buybacks coming in thinking they're going to get cheaper prices. So there's an opportunity for bigger guys take a position and then they can sell into that new volume that's coming through. So that's the long and the short of it for now. As always, anything relevant, I'll put it on the Skype chat for you. Have a good one. Trade well.